ya! I pushed 50 opponents off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves scratch, pumping our sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, there is best, the culture rich, where resistance in the morn of grace. We'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and
Well, I just got myself an AS
find your
valve already.
magic near the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. We are absolutely live now. Give me quite a second here. Now if you guys are watching on the beautiful, lovely YouTube, I know we've got a thing going on right now. I am utilizing 1.58. Now, for any of you who don't know, 1.58 is available now, and for it. But there is a couple of things I wanted to share with you guys. There is also a sale currently going on, for the American Truck Simulator, and I'm always going to show you guys with this. So if we hit Shift Windows Tab, we go to the we go over here to American Truck Simulator. Now, of course, for any of you, American Truck Simulator is on sale and is officially fully on sale for anybody who wants to play this game. You can buy the premium, deluxe, and ultimate editions. The ultimate edition is $43.85 for it. So and you can buy just the base game. You're only gonna get 3 states. I would recommend at least you buy this one here. At least I would recommend you buy the deluxe edition minimally. That's going to give you at least Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, and Montana. And if you do have these, that will give you, you can add Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, and Texas as more cities available for you to play in this game, by going through the more city stuff. But you also get a few extra things, preferably. I'm going to tell you, if you have the funds, and you're looking for something, the premium regular edition will get you Oregon, Washington, Idaho. You do need to have Oregon, you do need to have Washington to be able to get up into Pro Mods Canada. But I would recommend, if it were me, I would recommend you go with this one here. This is going to give you a buttload of cities for almost 50 bucks. If this is going to cost you about $43, right, and you have $50 to spend, what I would do, and if I were you, I would still buy, okay, I would still buy this, but then come down here and buy a city, buy a state that you do not have, that's not on that list, and you'll be fine for it. So it will give you a lot of decisions, a lot of choices to make when you decide to buy this. It's on sale now. don't know when the sale's going to end. It is their 10th anniversary. Um, and I did review this game back in 2021. I updated it last year.
If you're out there driving a truck,
So you will have a wonderful time with this. It works on Linux. It's not no way, shape, or form broken or anything. For any of you, I do have um, more cities, truck maps, MP, and I do have all of the and I do have pro mods. Now, of course, these are not supported by the GMC community. These are supported by this is pro mods. Everything that I did was pretty much unsupported right now through the GMC community. So we're just going based off of what I have used in previously. We do not have Beyond yet. We do not have to add Beyond into our gameplay yet for it. So if and when Beyond comes available, and when things come available, I will be updating to this. Now we do have some updates that new images available for upload. I am going to just select you for upload. The World of Trucks. Yep, we're gonna change the profile truck for now. Um, okay, just for now until we get things situated. Um, I do want you guys to know that as of right now, we do have some things that have changed um, with it, and I'm going to right now we're gonna change my truck to fit for it. I do not have the trailers set up, but we now have at least my truck combo. I've been working on it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to navigation, we're going to go to world map. We're going to go to external contracts. Okay? We are in Bakersfield. Okay? We can either right now this is going to be about 79.84 okay. Now of course we have both of those. I'm wondering if go to trailer manager. Okay, so that one's in Seattle. I think I'm gonna actually um And then we can do a quick travel to Los Angeles. I usually will keep it into the States, but I just have other, um, truck configurator. It's gonna be trailer configurator now. Um, Now, I am going to confirm that for now, because we do not have, my trucking logo available yet, but we will have it at some point. So let's go to external market. Real quick. Um, so it looks like I have to travel with the Valentine's gifts on this. So it looks like I will have to do that this way. So let's do this. Let's go to quick travel back to Bakersfield. Okay, because I have plenty of money. I can do this. I wanted to go to Kansas. We might not finish this whole design today. But we do have external market. But we're gonna take you. Yeah, I will dismiss my current trailer and take this job. I'm wondering, since we are doing Valentine's Day gifts, let's go to truck configurator. I have plenty of money. I have over $1 million. I am not gonna be too outrageous. We're gonna do Valentine's stuff. We got the Ring of Love. Okay. Well, I think what we'll do is, I know I spent so much on this, but I'm gonna use this trailer. I'm gonna use this because it is Valentine. It is. I know it's not Valentine's, but we are doing a lot of. As you can see, that'll allow us to do a quick menu, which gives us photo mode, services. I actually I actually kind of am liking the new UI. Like, I don't know why we have that 0 miles per hour over there. But we are gonna take at least, um... Okay, I actually like the new UI. I didn't think I would like it as much. But I do like the new UI. I absolutely am enjoying. Oh, mamacita. But we are gonna go to Kansas today. We're gonna try and get there. I'll be on at 11. We'll switch games at 11. Normally I'm not live. Normally I don't play American Truck at this time of night. Um, on a thing. Normally I'm playing um Call of Duty at this time of night, but I am going to tell you with some of the things that I wanted to really talk about today. Um, and this one's actually a reason why I'm deciding to pick up this haul going to Kansas is because of a lot of things going on, showing you guys that um, I'm only probably going to visit in video game form because of the stupidity that Kansas is. Okay, like to be honest, for any of you who haven't seen, okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to options. We've got some new options detailed. Um, it's going to be under gameplay. Um, where is it? Under the interface. Because I don't want to have drivers fine. Gotta be gameplay. Okay. Other parking, yes. Um, I'm turning off the contextual hints because I don't need them, to be honest. Unless something has changed between things, I don't think I need it. It's like, why do I need the contextual hints? Like, I understand the contextual hints if you're gonna, like, they're getting ready, and I'll tell you this, I don't think the console games are gonna come out soon, um, yet. I think the console games are gonna, the console versions of this are gonna come out sometime in the near future. Um, which is a happy sight to see, um, for things like that. Um, and things like that. Um, of course, the whole thing within today, probably already seen the title, um, and probably already know that what's going on, basically. Um, so if you don't know what's going on within the states, um, there has been a recent development on the relation to um, the LGBTQ community. Okay? I'm not over the line, so I'm good. Um, and it mostly related to the LGBTQ community. Um, primarily to the trans community specifically. But that doesn't mean that that there are these things going on uh, within it. And for those of you who don't know, I absolutely am somebody who utilizes a lot of these platforms um, that are out there, and one of the main ones that I use is Instagram. I use Instagram now a little bit. I don't use it entirely. Okay, I only use it for the stories, and I only use it for a handful of things to just double check, just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Because I am going to tell you that the one of the things that I always pay attention to is paying attention to shifting away from TikTok. I have been slowly shifting away from it because TikTok is now being owned. It's gotten their stuff there has gotten worse for privacy policy and things like that. That just really kind of is like basically. Yeah, I'm only missing Missouri. I think I'm only missing like a couple states now. I think I'm missing Missouri and Iowa. I might be missing one state, but basically, um, I think I'm missing like 3 states. Um, and to be honest, I basically only got 2 from the most recent sale, and it's happy 10th anniversary to American Truck Simulator. You know, I think I've been playing this for quite some time. I think I even got it back when the game was pretty much out. And pretty much enjoying the game since then, and I have enjoyed American Truck and Euro Truck Simulator are fantastic games. Um, are fantastic games. And I love American, and I love the Euro Truck. I love all these games out there, and of course, um, you know, for me, just enjoying a game like this really does make things there for it. Now, of course, we're gonna get into talking about the trans stuff today, mostly affecting um, a lot of places. And Aaron in the Morning is the one place that I do uh, really pay a lot of attention to. Um, and yeah, this guy. This driver does not know how to stop. Because I notice I'm going the wrong way. Luckily, this time it'll be a lot easier for me to... Now, I will tell you that there have been some major changes. If you're in the United States and you are having children or you have children, um, there are a lot of states um, basically capitulating or changing um, the way that kids get their care. Basically, a lot of trans care is being gutted in some of these places. So, and I'm not saying that it's been gutted. I'm just saying that um, some of these places are wanting to remove that care, and not all of that is going to be relation to care being lost because of people wanting to do that. It is probably because some of these doctors are leaving the field or have gone and wanting to leave the United States or have done other things for that reason. Um, so it's not like I'm saying that it's all of them, but most of most of these states have basically been given, instead of a blue, they have been given a light red for all of these states. Every state now is at least light red or fudge. I actually don't mind the contextual stuff up there for it. Um, I kind of understand what they're doing now, but I don't think they need to have that right there. I think we should be able to, or have it right up above that thing, but I don't mind it, I think. Um, But one of the things that has now also been changed is um, there are certain places within the United States that have gotten actually some slightly good news. Um, for a lot of people, you think that there's some good news and there's some bad news with all this. There's some good news in Montana though. Within the recent Montana recent places, there has not been many updates um, to it, to the map, because most everything is pretty much basically getting worse on a daily basis. A lot of red states are basically trying to hurt the trans community. To be honest, you know, it's no way, shape, or form should we be harming anybody because they're kids. Kids don't quite know everything, and trust me, kids don't. But at the same time, kids don't also know. Um, but a lot of people will then also say kids know more than you think. Um, Kids actually do know more than most people think. Um, I'm just looking around here, but I will tell you, like, it is um, that way. But it's for whatever the trans care is and whatever the trans stuff is. It's not. It's whatever you do. You make your own decisions. You have to deal with those decisions on your own. You don't, like, care shouldn't be left up to the government. The care should be left up to adults, okay, kids, and their doctors. Now, um, and when I mean by adults, I mean by parents, or adults within foster care and stuff need to kind of be on that ball and making sure that kids are getting the care that they need and deserve. Now, of course, a lot of kids should not be going in and doing things. There are going to be some who detransition and are just trying to make a grift out of it because they detransition because they shouldn't have been going through this. But then, if you're having regrets now, then and you then don't go get the surgery. Go social. You have, at least you can do social transitioning. You don't have to be a trans person and get the surgery. You don't have to be um, and get all the care, because you can because it turns out, you know, for it. But it turns out that if you are non-binary, basic non-binary, you can do whatever you want and dress however you want, because non-binary is non-binary. There's no set form of gender set for it, and and it's like, that's fine. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna hurt you for it. You can be you. Just be you. Nobody should be going after people for just being themselves. Okay? Of course, there are going to be some things um, that I do agree with. Some things, and I do agree with some. Like, we should have some things should be done in our schools, like our dress codes and things should be basically. We should have some modesty in our dress. I'm not. I'm like. I'm gonna tell you, like, in school, if like you're in school, you're going to a place where you are to basically kind of, like, um, to be there, and there are, like, I don't care, like, you can dress and be like, I'm not always modest, but guess what? I don't care. I'm not trying to be modest anywhere, but I my modesty is a little bit different than what other people consider modesty. And to me, um, you know, I don't care if you have, um, I don't care if you wear crops. I don't care if you wear short skirts, of course. But I would tell you, like, if you're going to school and you're, you know, you should have at least a little bit of some standards and set forth. No, like, for me, to be honest, what people should not be wearing are things that you're going to school. Like, when you become an adult, I think you should be able to wear whatever you want to wear, even as a child too. But I think you should have some restraint. Like, you shouldn't be wearing dresses that fall off. That shouldn't be wearing dresses that are revealing. You shouldn't be wearing tight-fitting clothes, man. Like, it's all up to you to make those decisions and make your decision on a lot of those things. And you have the right to make those decisions. Things that are related to gang affiliation, like, okay, there's gonna be it's I don't want to see like, because I basically would go against the Tennessee thing. I think modesty should be based up to the school district should set the policy to what they want. The government shouldn't have to. Government should not be involved. The school district should be involved. Okay? Schools, like, if somebody cannot afford a t-shirt and then cannot afford a lot, and that t-shirt pretty much was handed down to them because they're affiliated with a gang or affiliated with something that's immoral because you don't like it, it's a problem. Basically, like, you're going to police people's t-shirts when they decide that they want to wear, like, if you're gonna wear political t-shirts to school, you shouldn't really be wearing them. You shouldn't really be wearing them, but you can, and I will tell you, you should just do whatever you want. As long as it does not hurt or harm or for anybody. Wearing a cropped t-shirt, I don't care. Wearing a cropped vest, like, you can still oh um and that and a lot of things, but to be honest, just as long as you're not showing things, to be honest, I'm okay with whatever you wear. Male, female, everything needs to be basically kind of seeming like we need to have some decisions for a lot of people, and I think it'd be a great idea to do that for a lot of things. I think that it just needs to be set up by school districts instead of by the government, because Tennessee, I think Tennessee's one that just recently is trying to do that. Like, I don't see why that is disproportionately. First off, it's disproportionately based on, you're trying to basically saying that if somebody who is poor, who cannot afford some tattered old clothes because they basically just have barely enough to scrape by living in a home month to month, maybe being able to get food, okay? There are going to be people who aren't willing to help them because they're just selfish and don't care. But those are the things that we need to have a little bit of modesty. I'm not saying that because a little bit of modesty is a good thing. Too much and regulating too much of it and maybe forcing people to wear certain things or certain ways should not be. Like, if your religion tells you one thing, that's different than what a government should be doing, or what a a school district should be doing. A school district should basically be the end to be all on that level. If somebody's out there wearing something that's, leggings, for example, but you go to school and you wear leggings, well, shouldn't a man be able to go to school and wear leggings too? Because it's covering up, it's not revealing of anything, it just may show the frontal part a little bit more than it's all perspective, and it should be based on that if a male wants to go to school and wear a skirt, to be honest, I wear skirts that aren't to the knee, but that'd be just an example. Is like, if a man wants to go to school wearing a skirt, let him, as long as they're not revealing, as long as those things are there in that way. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest that basically people should be able to just basically have at least some like I don't care, as like I said, like crop tops fine, wearing crop t-shirts, wearing mini skirts. Mini skirts might be pushing that a little bit. But that's gonna be pretty much basically the whole issue with that, and I just don't like it, and like it how we have the government should be policing the way people should be dressing, the way people should be doing things. Government should be there for the people, not for themselves, not forcing people to do something that they don't want to do. It should be freedom to choose, freedom to make our own decisions in life. You go to, you go out in the workforce. The workforce is gonna mostly recommend that unless you're doing adult entertainment, most of the time you're gonna be dressed pretty much basically jeans and a t-shirt, company t-shirt in some places, or I told you when I was getting on Glass, getting on at 11, or when Scarlett got on. So if Scarlett got on before 11, then I would have hopped on. But Scarlett hasn't hopped on yet. But I will tell you one thing, though, Glass. Let me show you one thing. This is where I'm headed to. I know you're in Discord. I'm not getting in Discord yet. But I'm playing this until 11 o'clock, Glass. Like I said, I told you I was playing this till 11. But anyway. So yeah, but anyway, the worst news of the biggest news that's worst of it all is now that we have 3 states on this list now that I will not be traveling to, and 3 Texas, no, I did not. Playing American Truck Simulator until Scarlet gets on, or 11 p.m. If you go and read your text, and when I sent you that was at 9 o'clock. Last, that was at 9 o'clock. I know what I sent. I have the text messages. You want me to show it on camera? Cause I will. And I sent it to you at 9:04. That it said I was gonna play this game or until you get on now. And that was at 9:04. You didn't hop on at 9:04. I went and updated the American Truck Simulator game, went and fixed some stuff, added this, and then I was basically playing until 11. Because that's when Scarlet was getting on, or at some point at that point. But anyway, getting back onto actual topic, there is this thing that there are now 3 states that I will not be traveling to because of certain ruling, because of issues within these states, and 3 are now on this list. Doesn't matter. It does not matter if citywide. It's now statewide. And the thing of it is Texas and Florida have already been there. I've already told you guys this before because of anti-trans legislation and a lot of things there for it. Now, that doesn't mean that there are trans people living in those areas trying to fight for us, but I just won't visit because I don't live there. I'm not gonna go live there to do that. And now we have another state on the list, and sadly that state is the state that I'm heading to today. We're heading for is Kansas City. Or I shouldn't say Kansas City, to Kansas. Has now been added onto the list because of a trans bounty bill. So Kansas is out of the question, and don't think that Kansas is the start, because there are other places that are working on getting these bounties into place too, which will probably most likely include Missouri, because a lot of these places, if you are in a red state, and I know a lot of these red states, trust me, I know a lot more than people let on, because I pay attention. I really anyway, I pay attention, and a lot of these red states, including Kansas, Florida, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, a lot of these states leading all the way down to Texas, pretty much. Basically, if you go from South Dakota down to Texas in a straight line, all those states are red. Oklahoma, Tennessee, most of these places are red states. If you're a red state and you're mostly, if you're out in the mid, if you're out in the west side of the United States, like California, Washington, Oregon, far west, those are blue states. But you can't count on blue states to fight for it. We have to keep showing that you can continue to fight. And trust me, if one state's going to do it, more states are going to follow suit. And if they can get away with it in one state, they're going to try to get away with it in another. And they're basically trying to, a lot of things going on, and a lot of things going on within in these things are all related to because they have pushed the narrative that trans people are evil, trans people are bad human beings, and Glass, I focus because I do this because of I do it because I am somebody that's standing up for a lot of people, Glass. To be honest, I stand with a lot more people than you think. And a lot of people will look at me and say, I stand with every race in this country. I stand with blacks, whites, stand with, even basically in anybody in between, and Native Americans, you name the race, I stand by them. Name the religion, I will stand by it. Because I'm going to tell you, I will stand by with any religion as long as that religion, okay, as long as that religion's not going out to harming somebody or hurting somebody else, I don't care. So basically, I support those who do not have a religion. Those who may go to church twice a year because it's you know, I stand by with the bad people in some cases because, you know, I stand by them and care for them that they should be taken off the streets and put into jail because they did bad things, but there are a lot of people within the legal framework that are not bad people, that are not bad people, that are in jail because they were falsely accused. Because sometimes a cop's gonna have a vendetta out on somebody because they saw this and they just, okay, we're just gonna go after this vehicle because they didn't see that it was the other guy out there or this or that. Okay? It all happens. It's all based on whatever. It's all based on, for me, it's all based on the evidence and what that evidence shows. I'm always fact-based. I know I'm supposed to be on the... I know I'm supposed to be on the other lane. No, you don't, Glass. You don't. Nobody should. Nobody should be killing anybody. I don't care what they've done. Nobody should be. Nobody should be. I'm opposed to the death penalty because it's not going to change any. It's not going to change anybody. It's not going to change anything. It will not change what goes on with that person. They're just going to find a way to, like, if somebody's willing to go do something because they want to get themselves the death penalty, then they're going to find ways to do it, you know, because they don't care. They're just finding a way to escape for themselves, and it's basically government sanctioned outing, to be honest. I'm not going to talk about this anymore, but because it's not the right topic to be talking about anyway. But, and that's why nobody should be gotten rid of. Nobody should be gone. And of course the biggest offenders are in office right now, and Glass, to be honest, if you really wish that upon somebody, those are the things that I do not wish upon anybody. And those things that do happen, and if they do happen, Glass, because you're willing to let it go and you're willing to do something like that, my support will be you going to jail for it. I would support you going to jail, and you will be there. And because you are probably an immigrant, you would probably go someplace where you shouldn't be going, but you will, because you did some heinous act. No, don't think like that, Glass. Don't think like those things. You know? Yes, you may not like your parents sometimes. Yes, you may not like the things that they do. But they're your family, they're your parents. The best thing is, if you don't like them, you can just find ways to distance yourself from them instead of going after them or hurt them in any way. In any way. Those things should never be done. Done. I don't care. You can have it be whatever you decide, but just remember, those things that you do now will affect your life later in life. So the friends that you've had, that you have here, you may not be able to see them in the afterlife because of the decisions you decide to make. You may not be able to see your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, or things that you have done because you did some silly mistake here. And there's a lot of things related to that. That's why I always advocate for basically sharing a lot about the things that I may not live in these states, I may not live in these areas, but I do mostly talk about these things that do deserve to be talked about. Because, you know, the thing is I don't like talking about the things that pertain to like, I don't want to have to be talking about these things, but I have to because it's hurting a lot more people than you think. You know, like if I wasn't living in the United States, I was living in another country that basically, like Iceland, for example, I'd still end up talking about the United States. I'd still end up talking about these things because to be honest, I would stand up for my brothers and sisters in the community and across the LGBTQ community, and every community, to be honest. What's going on here in the United States because of ICE is no bueno, is no good. And to be honest, a lot of things would not be available today. We would not be, if we would not be having the rights if trans people did not stood up for the rights of gay people. Okay, there are a lot of things that would not be available today if it was not for unity in a lot of these things. You know, we still have the things of that, you know, look, right now if you think that they're just going to stop at trans people, think again. They're going to stop. They're not going to stop at anybody. They're basically going to stop at basically any narrow-minded, basically going back to the 1930s. Or even earlier than that. Basically, they're wanting to take women's rights away. Glass, let me also show you with this. Minnesota decided to kick people out of Minneapolis, but guess what? That didn't happen. Just because Missouri's saying they're kicking things out, that doesn't mean that they're going to be kicked out. Because just because that Missouri does that, kicking ICE agents out, what about the police? What about the police that are willing to work with ICE? ICE and those things. Okay. I need to go up here. And then I'm gonna get off as soon as I get up here so I can go play some Call of Duty. Because I want to play some Warzone at least a little bit for tonight, because I'm not quite finished with Warzone, but I'm pretty much done with everything except for Warzone, and I've got like a couple things left on it, so yeah, no. Just because they say that they're getting rid of ICE agents, that doesn't mean that they're getting rid of them. Okay, they said that they were going to get rid of it out of Minneapolis, but there are still agents in Minneapolis. Because I watch a guy who basically is up there, and they're not gone. So okay, yeah, you might decline it, but then now how about they start buying warehouses? Because that's what they're doing now, is they're starting to buy warehouses now. Instead of building a detention center, now they're going to use warehouses. And you may deny a detention center in Missouri, but that's not going to stop them from shipping them off to another state that has a detention center. Which then it's even worse. So it's not going to stop what's going on. They're basically small and narrow-minded. They only want what they want. They only want to keep their power because of the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is worse. It's going to make things worse because people who do not have a passport, okay, people who do not have a who do not have an ID because it does not match their birth certificate because of last name for women. So women are going to be disproportionately harmed. It'll disproportionately not harm me though, unfortunately, because unfortunately I can still vote. I can still do those things because I have at least will still be able to, because I have not changed my name one bit legally. Whoops. Great. I don't know about that. Might be your city doing that. Might not be your state. Because I know I know a little bit of thing or two about that state. That cities might say no. Yeah, you can do that if you want. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course, if you want to go back to your old name, that's fine. It's actually. It's there. I have no doubts about it. But I will tell you this, guys. Um, the things that are going on. What you really need to focus on. Okay, there are 4 things I want to tell you to focus on when you focus on in the news. Before I do get off for some Call of Duty, because I'm not going to talk about politics. I don't talk about politics usually at night. Unless I'm driving, and I am going to probably end it here shortly. But the thing that I wanted to share with you guys specifically in relation to news coverage, okay, you need to first pay attention to your, um, if you're going to pay attention to national news, um, I will give you 5 creators that you guys can go and listen to and pay attention to um, more than the uh, news from CBS or the news from NBC or ABC or any of TV news, because TV news is going to be spearheaded by the FCC. They for it, and you have to be careful what, because sometimes they're going to tiptoe around the FCC because they don't want to get into trouble. Because one thing that you can go and listen to is James Tallarico's interview with Stephen Colbert on Stephen Colbert's YouTube channel. I would love to share it, but because of copyright issues, I can't. So go and watch it on his channel that they basically snubbed from air on TV. Um, but the 5 people or 4 places you should go and listen to. 5 if you really want to be um, out there. But the first one I will tell you is go listen to Midas Touch. Um, and they're a collective of people for that whole thing. Um, and then you can check out not only Midas Touch, but you can check out Brian Tyler Cohen, um, David Packman, and Farron Cousins. Um, you can check those out for it, um, and those things. Personally, I don't really watch a lot of Farron Cousins though. Um, I don't really watch a lot of his stuff. Um, I've been listening to it a little bit more lately. Um, and then a couple other places you can do. Dusty Dollimore's another one. All of these things you can listen to, and then the final thing that you can listen to is um, if you want to go to Midas Canada, um, there is Midas Canada as well that allows you to listen to what Canada's doing and things like that, and get some of those news and some of those things going on. Now, I will tell you, in no way, shape, or form do I say that you should go and not have CBS, not have these other news agencies. I do use MS Now occasionally, but I don't watch everything from them. And then there is a couple other things that you can do at your state level is go and look at your PBS. Go look at your uh, places like that, and then your local area news for your local area basically is going to be a little bit more better than listening to your national. If you listen to your local, um, make sure that you know what your local station is and who is it under and how is it under and who's being controlled underneath of it, because if you're watching this, you're not getting, you might be getting what propaganda that they might push out because they're Republican or a Trump following person. Then you kind of really have to, then it's probably best not to, but it's up to you to make those decisions yourself. But then you can also get your city newspaper and your city things out that way as well, but that also can have some bias there too. So the last thing I will tell you is if you want um, uh, LGBTQ stuff and LGBTQ things, things that I do tend to listen to a lot of, LGBTQ Nation, Trans Radio UK, um, other Pink News, um, Queer News Tonight from out of Florida. That's why I said nut. That's why I said not everybody's out. Not everybody is trans has left Florida and are still there because they're an adult. Kids have a harder time in Florida and in some of these other places. You can also listen to Max. Uh, the last one I wanted to really share is Aaron in the Morning, of course. Um, Max in Relax is with is where you guys can get your other news from a perspective from abroad. Um, there are a lot of places you can do this through other means that are out there, but we have to be willing to stand up and fight. Don't let them um, get away with a lot of these things. You stand and you continue to fight, and you continue to do the things that are there. Don't just stop and say, "Oh, there's nothing I can really do." There's always something you can do. There's always something. You can speak up, speak out, send your messages to your senators. They may not get it, but you can always still send them messages, let them know, let them hear your side. I share it with you guys through YouTube. I share it through you with streaming here on Trovo and YouTube, of course. I always stream Monday through Friday, um, and Saturday and Sunday in the afternoons here on YouTube, which you guys can subscribe. I'm live from 3 to 4. I'm gonna try my best this week to be 3 to 5 o'clock, um, and getting things done, um, because that's basically um, how I'm gonna try to um, do things. And this week is I'm gonna try to be on at 3 so that I can get off at 4:35. Mostly 5 o'clock. I'm trying to aim for 5, um, and getting off. So if you're watching it this week, but normally I am live till 6 o'clock, um, 4 to 6. So uh, and then at night, guys, specifically, I don't do American truck or Euro truck at night. Um, I typically do that during the day. And during the day, I usually do Monday through uh, nights, are pretty much basically every day is basically 9 to 10 p.m. start time to basically whenever, um, to basically until 3 o'clock in the morning. Lately, it's been that way. Normally, I get off at 2, um, but except for Saturdays, like tonight. Saturdays I go until 1 because I do have to get up in the morning. Um, that may change though at some point in the near future because I don't know. So we'll see how things go. Um, and we will catch you guys here in a few minutes if you're watching here on TikTok on Trovo. We'll catch you guys here in about like a couple minutes. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that subscribe here on YouTube. Make sure that bell notification with y'all. And if you're watching on 12 and you gotta go, make sure you guys hit that follow. It's greatly appreciated. And we'll see you guys back here in a few minutes.